We have the three biggest challenges masters weightlifters face, and where this is coming from is working over the last decade with dozens and dozens of masters athletes, as well as having conversations with you out there in the audience, YouTube, who we got on a call just to connect. And there's a lot of masters out there that follow me. So this video is for you. Let's get into the first challenge. All right, the first challenge masters weightlifters share is mindset. And typically the very first thing I see come up is a fear around injury, or maybe it's a fear around heavy weight, but there's a fear. And as we dig into this deeper, it tends to stem from looking at, hey, I'm getting older, and when you get older, you become more fragile. Now, this is a very loaded thing. It's very loaded because you can find masters athletes out there, you can find individuals over 35 who are anything but fragile. But here's the thing, remember, our minds dictate our results. So if that's what we're telling ourselves, that I'm fragile, you're gonna be experiencing a lot of fragile moments. So what can we do? We can acknowledge it for what it is, a fear. We can see it, there's journaling exercises that we can do. We can sit down and write it out, but typically acknowledging it and seeing what's in our control. What are you focused on? Are you focused on potentially getting injured, or are you focused on moving well? Are you focused on getting hurt, or are you focused on the movement quality that you're training with and the appropriate jumps to make on that given day? Do you see the difference? Where we put our focus, it expands. So instead of focusing on the fear of what might happen or telling yourself the story that I'm getting older so I'm getting more fragile, put your mind on what you want. What do you want as you age? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to feel great? Do you want to move that where young people look at you and go, man, I hope I move like that when I'm their age? I hope that's what you want, and that's absolutely possible. The last thing I see with mindset that comes up is, do I belong here? Do I belong in the sport? Do I belong doing these things? Again, in whose eyes are you asking this? Who's making this choice other than you? And this goes back to the video that I did last week on if this sport calls to you, if you enjoy what you're doing, by all means, keep doing it and keep getting better at it. The second challenge all masters weightlifters face is mobility. Now here's the thing, your mobility isn't bad because you're older. It's in the situation that it's in is because you've had more time for two things. One, injuries to occur, and two, lifestyle to occur. Injuries and our lifestyle dictate our mobility, right? What you don't use, you lose. So if you've spent the last 10 years not in a deep squat, I'll tell you what, your deep squat's probably pretty tight. So here's the kicker. Can masters athletes reach the mobility they need or they want? Hell yes, hell yes. The only difference between masters athletes and younger athletes when it comes to mobility is it may take longer. That's the thing that we see. If I took a young athlete and a masters athlete and put them on a roller and had them do the exact same thing for the exact same amount of time, typically what you'll see is the younger athlete, they may have more of a dramatic change in range of motion, where the masters athlete will have a change, it's just not as dramatic. But here's the kicker, repeat that, do it again. And what you'll see is the masters athletes will improve their range of motion again. Like any time with mobility, if you've watched any of our mobility videos, we want to do mobility to where basically the improvements stop, right? And this is talking about after our training session. So if we finished up, we're working on mobility. If I do it once and I see some change in range of motion, I do it twice and I see more. I do it a third time and I don't see much more, you're complete. That's good for the day, move on. Just know mobility may take a little longer, but it's absolutely achievable for the masters athlete. And the third challenge that masters athletes face is good coaching and good support. And what I mean by that is specifically the knowledge and experience base to be able to help a masters athlete come from wherever they are, wherever their mobility is, whatever injuries they've had in the past, and be able to build up to be doing great movement and feeling good while increasing strength. And here's the kicker that you see from coaches and the support out there that is not very good is, here's this weightlifting plan. It's basic, general weightlifting, snatch, clean, jerk, squats, woohoo, right? And then masters athletes are going through it and feeling the tweaks and pains from mobility. They're feeling the imbalances that they've had, and they're getting no support in fixing those imbalances. Here's the thing. I've had athletes, masters athletes, come to Project Lifts for years now, blown away that after a month or 2 months, the nagging issues they had are no more. And what they had thought was that's just part of the sport, and that is sad. So here's the thing. Find yourself good support and good coaching that can meet you where you are and help you build a solid foundation to utilize the sport of Olympic weightlifting, the Olympic lifts, in any way that you'd like to utilize them. And the second thing that I see is coaches putting younger lifters before their masters athletes, and sadly, masters athletes being okay with that. Here's the kicker. You're just as important as anybody else. Don't play this game where it's like, well, they have a shot to go to, the Olympics, and they have a shot to go to Worlds. Cool. If they're a good coach, they can manage that. But if you're paying them money, if you're part of their club or whatever it is, you should be getting the same level of attention and of service. You deserve that. And that's what you need. And that's a personal one for me, where it just hurts me when I see that going on. And when the masters athlete's like, well, yeah, I get it. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You're equal. We're all equal. Get the support that you need. Now, here's the kicker. If you're looking for support, you want implementation of this, you want to get into the sport, you want to take it wherever you want to take it, hit this discovery call button. Let's get on the phone. Let's see where you've been. Let's see where you want to go. And we can come up with ways that we can support you in doing this. If you've made it this far in the video, smash that thumbs up button, pay it forward, share it forward with a friend, and subscribe, because new videos are coming each week.